The House will come to order. Reports of standing committees and divisions. A copy of this order of business has been placed on each member's desk or is available online and at the House desk. A minority report has been filed on House File number 445. We will act on all other committee reports first and then act on the report on House File 445 later. If there is no objection, the reports with the exception of House File 445 will be adopted. Hearing no objection, the reports are adopted. We will now act on House File 445. The clerk will report both the majority and minority reports. Pursuant to our rules, we must take action on the minority report first.
Mariani from the Committee on Ways and Means, to which was referred House File number 445, an act relating to public safety, with the recommendation that when so amended, the bill be placed on the general register. Minority report. I, the undersigned, being a minority of the Committee on Ways and Means, recommend that House File number 445 be amended as follows and be placed on the general register. The minority report is signed Patrick Garofalo. Garofalo moves that the minority report from the Committee on Ways and Means relating to House File number 445 be substituted for the majority report and that the minority report be now adopted.
Representative Garofalo, to your motion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Let me begin first by requesting a roll call on the adoption of the minority report.
Representative Garofalo requests a roll call on the adoption of the minority report. There not being 15 hands in the chamber, those who support a roll call on adoption of the minority report, please send an email to hands@house.mn. You have 60 seconds. There are 15 hands. There will be a roll call. Representative Garofalo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. Members, what we're voting on today is a $35 million special revenue account to help pay for the costs of law enforcement. Next month, unfortunately, the eyes of the world will once again be back on Minnesota. And at this time, it is important that we prioritize our obligations of public safety, of peace, and of law. Now, Madam Speaker, let me first begin by saying that I and many other members on this side of the aisle have come out in strong support of this bill, strong support of law enforcement. And the vote that we may or may not be taking today, it is critical for members to understand that voting in favor of a motion to table this minority report is absolutely a vote against law enforcement. It is a vote against the women and men who serve in our state. Now, the other chamber, members of my own party, recklessly came out in favor of a proposal that had no funding to address the concern that's coming forward. There are legitimate concerns to be brought forward regarding the issues of the city of Minneapolis reducing their budget, offloading public safety measures, financing onto state taxpayers. That's a legitimate concern. Likewise, there are other legitimate concerns that Representative Mariani and members of the DFL majority have brought forward. But those issues cannot be allowed to block this crucial funding for what is an international event. Now, make no mistake about it, the underlying bill, the majority report, is opposed by the 3 major law enforcement organizations in the state of Minnesota. The idea that a law enforcement funding bill that is opposed by law enforcement would ever become law is pure fantasy. So the motion before you today is really a matter of whether you're going to vote in favor of a centrist, pragmatic proposal today, or whether you're going to do it at some point in the future. Make no mistake about it, the minority report is essentially what will become law. That is what will happen in order to make sure that we step up and meet our public safety obligations. I have no dispute that we will rise to that occasion. The question is whether we want to do it today or whether we want to do it in the future. So as we move forward on this today, the relevant issue is that we can join together in a bipartisan fashion to support a version of this funding that has the support of the men and women of law enforcement, that has the bipartisan support needed for us to pass this out of this chamber, get it past the other chamber, and sign into law by the governor. The reality is, the minority report before you today is essentially Governor Walz's proposal with minor modifications. This side of the aisle has made the choice to prioritize public safety because of the upcoming situation that's going to be taking place in the state of Minnesota, and primarily in Minneapolis. Today, you have an opportunity to vote in favor and to stand with the men and women of law enforcement, as opposed to voting for a motion to table, which is a vote, absolutely is a vote, against the men and women of law enforcement. Madam Speaker and members, I would ask for your support of the minority report on House File 445.
Representative Winkler.
Madam Speaker, we will have an opportunity to debate this bill when it comes to the floor. I would ask, therefore, Madam Speaker, that House File 445 be laid on the table. I'm sorry, that the minority report from the Committee on Ways and Means be laid on the table.
Representative Winkler moves to lay the minority report on the table. It is not a debatable motion. Representative Garofalo.
Madam Speaker, I would request a roll call on that.
Representative Garofalo requests a roll call. Please send your name to hands@house.mn if you support a roll call on the motion to table the minority report. There are 15 hands, so there will be a roll call on the motion to table. Given that the motion is non-debatable, the clerk will take the roll on the motion to table the minority report.
This is a no, right?
You are going to vote no for laying it on the table, correct?
So members who are voting remotely, we'll give you a couple minutes to do your remote vote. A green vote is a vote to table. A red vote is a vote opposed to tabling. Those who are voting remotely, please vote. Will the clerk call the names of those members who have not voted yet?
Becker Finn.
Aye.
Becker Finn, aye. Bowe.
Bowe votes aye.
Bowe, aye. Doubt,
Doubt votes no.
doubt, no. Detmer,
Detmer votes no.
Detmer, no. Drazkowski,
Drazkowski, no.
Drazkowski, no. Edelson,
Aye.
Edelson, aye. Feist,
Aye.
Feist, aye. Fisher,
Fisher, aye.
Fisher, aye. Grossel,
Grossel, no.
Grossel, no. Hausman,
Houseman, aye.
Hausman, aye. Heinrich,
Heinrich votes no.
Heinrich, no. Hornstein,
Ornstein, aye.
Hornstein, aye. Katiza Watun,
Katiza Watun, aye.
Katiza Watun, aye. Lilly,
Lily, aye.
Lilly, aye. Lucero,
Lucero, no.
Lucero, no. Mariani,
Mariani, aye.
Mariani, aye. Mason, Mason,
Mason, aye.
Mason, aye. McDonald,
Donald, nay.
McDonald, no. Murphy,
Murphy, aye.
Murphy, aye. Nash,
Nash, no.
Nash, no. Poston,
Poston votes no.
Poston, no. Pryor,
Pryor, aye.
Pryor, aye. Sandsted,
Sandsted votes aye.
Sandsted, aye. Sundin,
Sundin votes aye.
Sundin, aye. Torkelson,
Torkelson, no.
Torkelson, no. Erdahl,
Erdahl, no.
Erdahl, no. Bo,
Bo changes from aye to no.
Bo changes from aye to no.
The clerk will close the roll. There being 70 ayes and 62 nays, the motion prevails. The minority report is laid on the table. The question recurs on the adoption of the majority report for House File 445.
Madam Speaker.
Representative Garofalo.
Madam Speaker, I would request a roll call on the adoption of the report.
Representative Garofalo requests a roll call on the adoption of the majority report. There are not 15 members in the chamber, so if you would like to raise your hand for a roll call, please email hands@house.mn. There are 15 hands, so there will be a roll call on adoption of the majority report. Any discussion on adoption of the majority report? Hearing none, the clerk will take the roll. Those that are voting remotely, please vote. Those who are voting remotely, please vote.
Darn, remote vote just won't work for me. Excellent.
Will the clerk call the names of all those members who have not voted yet?
Becker Finn.
Aye.
Becker Finn, aye. Bo.
Bo votes no.
Bo, no. Doubt.
Doubt votes no.
Doubt, no. Detmer.
Detmer votes no.
Detmer, no. Drazkowski.
Drazkowski, no.
Drazkowski, no. Edelson.
Aye.
Edelson, aye. Feist.
Aye.
Feist, aye. Fisher.
Fisher, aye.
Fisher, aye. Grossel.
Russell, no.
Grossel, no. Hassan.
Aye.
Hassan, aye. Hausman.
Hausman, aye.
Hausman, aye. Heinrich.
Heinrich, no.
Heinrich, no. Hornstein.
Hornstein, aye.
Hornstein, aye. Katiza Watun.
Katiza Watun, aye.
Katiza Watun, aye. Lilly.
Lily, aye.
Lilly, aye. Lucero.
Lucero, no.
Lucero, no. Mariani.
Mariani, aye.
Mariani, aye. Mason.
Mason, aye.
Mason, aye. McDonald. McDonald. Murphy.
Murphy, aye.
Murphy, aye. Nash.
Nash, no.
Nash, no. Poston.
Poston votes no.
Poston, no. Pryor.
Pryor, aye.
Pryor, aye. Sandsted.
Sandsted, aye.
Sandsted, aye. Sundin.
Sundin, aye.
Sundin, aye. Tice.
Tice, no.
Tice, no. Thompson.
Thompson, yes.
Thompson, aye. Torkelson.
Torkelson, no.
Torkelson, no. Erdahl.
Erdahl, no.
Erdahl, no. McDonald.
McDonald, no.
McDonald, no.
The clerk will close the roll. There being 70 ayes and 62 nays, the report is adopted. Second reading of House Files.
Second reading, House File number 30.
Second reading.
Second reading, House File number 133.
Second reading.
Second reading, House File number 321.
Second reading.
Second reading, House File number 445.
Second reading. Introduction of House files. The Chief Clerk will report the House files and give them their first reading.
Introduction of first reading of House Files 912 through 987.
First reading, House Files 912 through 987. Motions and resolutions. There are copies of the non-controversial motions at the House desk and online. If there's no objection, we will take action on these motions first. Hearing no objection, the motions prevail.
Pulowski moves that House File Number 444 be recalled from the Committee on Rules and Legislative Administration and be re-referred to the Committee on Industrial Education and Economic Development, Finance, and Policy.
The member from Winona, Representative Pulowski, to your motion.
Madam Speaker, I've spoken with both chairs. The bill was unfortunately sent to the Rules Committee rather than to the Industrial Education and Economic Development Finance Committee. That's where it should have gone in the first place. So that's my motion, Madam Chair.
Any discussion to the motion? Representative New.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Would Representative Pulowski yield for a question?
Yes.
He will yield. Representative New.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm just wondering, Representative Pulowski, if you can just explain to us a little bit about what this bill does.
Representative Pulowski.
This bill would add one sentence to the Chapter 12B definition that is part of the account that is within this committee, that a disaster does not include a catastrophe caused by civil unrest. The companion to this bill is being carried by Senator Rosen, and the intention is to have a full discussion of the impact of that particular line on the 12B account and on what we would normally use for disasters in this state.
Representative New.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Representative Pulowski.
Any further discussion to the motion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Those opposed, please say no. The motion prevails. Announcements. The member from Morrison, Representative Kresha.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And members, I just want to raise your awareness about an event that's happening in our district this weekend. We have the Sunny Zwilling Memorial Ice Carousel Extravaganza. It's a fundraiser to help benefit kids and helping those with their basic housing and hunger needs. It's an amazing event that happens on the Green Prairie Fish Lake, where we're actually setting a world record of cutting the largest ice carousel in the world. And what that is they cut a large circle and they get it spinning around with trolling motors. It's actually quite amazing. And we've been competing against the Finlands and folks in Maine for the last 3 years. And we are now the reigning champions and trying to hold that record. But it's an amazing community event and it serves a fantastic purpose. I have a House resolution on that, but just want to call out the wonderful efforts of the Zwilling family and trying to take care of the hunger needs and housing needs in our areas. So thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Kresha. Representative Winkler.
Madam Speaker, I move that when the House adjourns today, it adjourns until 3:30 p.m. Thursday, February 11th, 2021.
Representative Winkler moves that when the House adjourns today, it adjourns until 3:30 p.m. Thursday, February 11th, 2021. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say no. The motion prevails. Representative Winkler.
Madam Speaker, I move that the House do now adjourn.
Representative Winkler moves that the House do now adjourn. All those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed, please say no. The motion prevails. The House stands adjourned until 3:30 p.m. Thursday, February 11th, 2021.